The Pokemon Horizons event is here in Pokemon Go, so we are going to go over the top tips, tricks, and strategies to help you guys max out, especially getting a brand new Pokemon that's debuting in eggs in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club, here we go! The Pokemon Horizons event is going down 10 a.m. on the 5th, and that's going all the way until the 11th at 8 p.m. The bonuses are going to include 2 times XP for hatching and increased rocket activity, which is going to be a plus because who doesn't love a little bit of extra rocket activity? And we're going to get Charcadet debuting in Pokemon Go, as well as a brand new Pikachu with the costume. So let me know in the comments below, how do you guys feel about Pikachus with the costume? Because sometimes they're cool and other times I'm like, man, oh man, I wish that, we could probably get around this, or maybe introduce a little bit other costumes if they're going to be in the game to try to give it a little bit of variety, but Pikachu is definitely always the one they choose. And if you do catch the Captain's Cup Pikachu, it is going to come with Volt Tackle. So with all that said, let's get into our top tips, starting off with tip number 1. Tip 1, let's talk about snapshots. Guys, if you do take snapshots during this event, I would suggest you guys take them quite frequently and often and try to get your buddies boosted all the way to best buddy if it is something valuable to you, because just remember, you can get the medal for it, even though it is one of the biggest grinds in the game. But if you do take that snapshot, you get 4 options to potentially get from here. You can get a Charizard, a Sprigatito, a Fuecoco, or the Captain's Cap Pikachu, which does have a shiny in the wild. So guys, make sure to take your snapshots every day, even if it's just a part of your buddy process, and add towards your medal and to get yourself potentially some of these Pokemon. And just a reminder, Charizard in the wild can be shiny, which they at least do tip number 2. Tip 2 will be all about the wild spawns, which actually doesn't really hold too much weight here, so I'm not really sure how big of an event this one actually is, but there are 6 wild spawns going down. Number 1 is going to be Scyther, then we have Nosepass, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, Quaxly, as well as Pawmi. So there's going to be 6 of those Pokemon that are going to be spawning in the wild. Not really honestly my favorite spawns, but just as remember that Scizor does go into Mega Scizor, and that one does have a good dual-typed Bug and Steel Mega. So if you guys do ever need those 2 combinations, having this Pokemon at Mega level 3 is important. At the same time, it's not the most common spawn, so if you ever did want to max one out, not that any of these are good for PvP or anything like that, it is an option for you guys. And then as far as the rarer spawns, we're getting Captain's Cap Pikachu, we are getting ourselves a Alolan Grimer, and then we will also have Beldum in the wild. And Beldum at some point will have the Mega going into Mega Metagross. This Pokemon, very great Pokemon. It's a good Steel type, especially in the Shadow form, especially in the future Mega form, and even as a budget Steel type counter, it does do very well. So if you guys do want to catch these, trade them. You can get lucky 100% IVs or good IVs and power them up for less Stardust. So they are a little bit rarer, but that is going to be the focus spawn that I would say during this event that would make the most sense for me personally. And the Metagross is also going to be ranked 45 in the Master League. However, the Meteor Mash is the recommended moveset in meta attackers and PvP, which you will need an Elite Chart TM. So if you do get a good one, I would suggest holding that one on, because at some point we are due for a Calm Day Classic, which you will be able to save premier resources instead of using. So with that said, let's get into tip number 3. Tip 3 is all about what this event seems to be focused on, and that is going to be hatching eggs. So we do have the Charcadet that is going to be able to be hatched from 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and 10 kilometers. From 2 kilometers, it's going to be a tier 5 rarity Pokemon, meaning it's going to be the rarest that you can hatch from these eggs. In tier 5, it's going to be a tier 3 rarity, which is going to be a little bit rarer, but a little bit more common. And then in the 10 kilometer eggs, it's going to be a 1 tier rarity, meaning you have the best chances to be able to hatch this. So you are going to have to spin some of these rarer hatches, while at the same time, you guys are going to be able to get 2 times XP for hatching eggs. But for me personally, I overlook all the XP when hatching eggs. I don't think it's a super relevant way to get XP. Number 1, you have to do a lot of effort for it. Number 2, it requires incubators, and if you're only doing 1 incubator, putting on a lucky egg for 1 incubator or even 12 incubators doesn't make too much sense. But if you were doing 12 kilometer eggs and you were in a raid train and you were opening Best Friend, Ultra Friend, and Great Friends, guys, this would do very well for us, and I would suggest going in that direction. But also there's a little bit of a change up in 2 kilometer eggs, which is going to feature Pichu, Togepi, Smoochums, Gothita, Solosis, Larvesta, Fletchling, Lechonk, Smoliv, and Charcadet. So yes, if you guys do not have a Larvesta, they will be in the 2 kilometer egg. So for me personally, is all I'm going to be doing is running at least 1 infinite incubator and maybe a second, not premier incubator, but a regular incubator. As of right now, we'll see if we are going to be able to get it. I'm not the biggest fan of hatching eggs. I don't feel like it's too lucrative. So for me personally, I would prefer to conserve my resources and put them elsewhere, which then in 5 kilometer eggs, we're going to be hatching Lickitung, Sableye, Roggenrola, Larvesta, Skrelp, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, Quaxly, Pawmi, and Charcadet. Obviously, once again, we are at the same exact position where, yes, I do like the Pokemon in these eggs, but at the same time, I usually feel like I get my hopes up, and I'm probably going to skip out on these, but I will, once again, probably incubate one of these at the same time, but then finally, we will be getting 10Ks. We are going to get Larvesta, Tyrunt, Amora, Carbink, Gumi, Turtonator, Jangamo-o, Charcadet, and Frigibax. So obviously, out of all these eggs, this is going to be my favorite egg pool right here. However, it does require more walking and everything like that, but at the same time, guys, if you do want to go out there, you want to have a lot of fun, even if you're running, you're jogging, you're doing jumping jacks, having your phone closed, no low power mode on, you have your adventure sync turned on, that is going to yield you kilometers towards hatching your eggs. So whenever you're doing exercise this week, I suggest that you guys do keep on going here. However, the one thing I am going to point out here is that, guys, if you have 10-kilometer eggs sitting in your bag, they don't switch over right now. Whatever you have in your bag, you will have to hatch through to be able to realize for a new egg when you spin the stop. So please take that into account and don't think, hey, I'm going to hatch this 10-kilometer egg because it's in my bag. It's not going to work that way. You have to recycle all of your eggs and get new ones after the event spawns, which then leads to tip 4. Tip 4 is going to focus on raids and field research. In the raids, we're going to have Tier 1, Captain's Cap, Rhyhorn, and Rockruff. Tier 3, we're going to have Chansey, Noctowl, and Metagross. Tier 5, we're going to have Tapu Koko, and then we'll also have the Mega Sceptile. In the field research, we're getting Spin 5 Pokestops or Gyms for 5 Pokeballs, 2 Super Potions, and 1 Revive. Win a raid is going to be Captain's Cap Pikachu at 402, Skarmory at 903, and Rockruff at 407. Defeat 2 Team Go Rocket Grunts will be Golduck at 1050 or Skarmory at 903, and then hatch 2 eggs can give you a Captain's Cap Pikachu or a Sprigatito, Fuecoco, or Quaxly. And finally, there's going to be a $15 purchase in the web store from Pokemon Go, which will yield you 3 remote raid passes. It's going to get you 10 premium battle passes and 10 incubators. So while it does seem like this is a relatively good deal, for me personally, I don't really put too much value in balancing things out. If I want to get raid passes, I want to optimize raid pass box. If I want to do something else, I want to optimize box for that specifically. When we combine them, while yes, it is cool to get the incubators as well as the premium battle passes and the remote raid passes, for me personally, I am going to opt out on recommending this box, but you guys can do as you may. So this event is not super well packed, but guys, I would still suggest getting out there, doing a lot of walking, hatching eggs, even if they're just on your free incubator, because you can hatch one of these brand new Pokemon, and that's going to be the Charcadet, which as of right now, Ceruledge is only ranked 216 in the Ultra League. So that's going to do it, guys. Good luck on the event. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I don't think there's too much crazy going on here. Maybe I'm missing something. If I am, drop in the comments and let me know. But thank you guys for tuning in. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody take your support, subscribe, participation, 2x. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.